We're about to read the newspapers. And joining us to analyze the newspapers this morning is publisher of the niche newspaper, Ikechukwu Amaechi. Good to have you here, sir.
Warm welcome to you, sir. Thanks for having us. But before we get to it, Joe, I know you're not a doctor, but can you help me check Olive's temperature and see if everything is okay? Okay.
It's hot too.
Olive, you need to deploy your HMO after this show.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, HR. I'll come and deploy it. Let's get into the newspaper. First story. This Nigerian newspaper, dispute over alleged abduction of 163 in Kaduna
The
churches.
numbers keep changing.
Police council insists no attack occurred and they are demanding victims list. Can maintains claim. Let's start with that story.
Well, when the story broke yesterday, I didn't want to rush in publishing the story. I deployed my news editor,
Right.
Ishaya Ibrahim, to look at the story and let us have the facts. Incidentally, Ishaya is from Borno, but he is more of a Kaduna person because their family was chased out of Borno, so they now live in Kaduna. So he's a Kaduna boy and knows all the people involved. So and he said he knows the CAN chairman, and that I said, okay, place a call to him. And he called the man, and the man confirmed, insisted that 3 churches were attacked and some number of people were adopted. That was when we now ran the story. Now it is, of course, the police and the state government came thereafter to make their denial that nothing like that happened, and that if anybody is saying that there were some adoptions in Kaduna on Sunday, that they should bring the evidence, the names
list,
of people who were adopted. I don't want to believe that the Christian Association of Nigeria is lying that some people were adopted. The number may be a little in dispute. If you ask me, I think that we are beginning to play the politics of don't report, as if you don't report, the whole crisis goes away. I will err on the side of caution by saying that there were some adoptions in Kaduna on Sunday, that what the state government and the police are trying to do is to mitigate the crisis in such a way as to, and don't forget what is being said, that the people who were adopted, whether 162, whether 150, whether 170 something, are Christians. And therefore it dovetails into the narrative of Christian persecution in Nigeria. I don't think that the Kaduna state government, which, if you ask me, has also done relatively well in terms of fighting insecurity, since the present governor came in 2023, I think there is a considerable decrease in incidents of violence, whether it is ethnic, whether it is religious or so, but there is a very considerable
compared to
what it was before he came in. So, but that should not mean that if there is any case or cases of adoption, that you should also be in denial because you want to continue creating the impression that you are working. We know you have worked. We know you've because we knew what the situation was before you came in. But if there were really adoptions, and like I said, I'm inclined to believe it because we spoke to the CAN chairman himself, and I don't think he'll be so frivolous as to come out to say there were adoptions if there were no adoptions. So the police should investigate and dig deeper. I think what they should do, rather than pushing it across, is to invite the people who are making the allegations, the people who are saying that this and this happened, and they should be able to trash it out. If there are adoptions, Nigerians should be told that there are adoptions. You don't solve the problem by sweeping the death under the carpet. Right.
Well, on YouTube, Pius Amako, thank you very much, Pius, first of all, for the compliment. Pius Amako goes ahead to say, meanwhile, instead of allegedly lobbying the U.S. with $9 million, why not stop the insecurity once and for all? Is it that difficult? Now, wow, I feel for those in Kaduna. Please keep the comments coming. We'll take them from YouTube. But we have Chima calling from Benue State. Good morning, Chima. Thanks for calling. Please go ahead with your comment.
Good morning.
Hello, Chima. Your comment, we can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Like I often say, we have to place premium. I mean, the government, the citizens have to place premium on human lives. It seems our political elite do not value the lives of Nigerians. Because you can imagine these killings, abductions have been going on for so long. It happened in Benue here. And then it's as if we have turned a blind eye on that. And the victims of this attack are still in agony, are still in penury. What has the government done to at least bring succor to these people? And today we are talking of another attack or abduction in Kaduna. And the government is not even responsible or bold enough to tell the citizens the truth. I mean, we have to speak truth to power in this country if we want to move forward. Thank you.
Comment. We have to speak truth to power in this country if we want to move
you
forward.
know, the downside of trying to minimize assuming that the adoptions are true. If you remember, I think the Chibok girls in 2014, for almost 2 weeks, the government was in denial and said, how can such number of girls be taken? And they were denying until it became apparent that those girls were taken away. And the implication is that in the 2 weeks or so it took for the government to actually admit that there were adoptions, even if the girls were to be rescued, nothing like that happened again. So we cannot fight insecurity by being in denial. If people are killed, then they are killed. There is this school of thought that says what the terrorists want is publicity. And therefore, when you report, you are giving them oxygen. Because that's actually what they want. They want to create fear. They want to ensure that people get to know about their actions. But you don't solve any problem by not reporting what the atrocities that they are committing.
You're doing a huge disservice to the victims.
Exactly. So if you are denying when people have been kidnapped, then how are you going to solve the problem? If an American is killed, for instance, in Afghanistan, it is reported that 20 Americans have been killed. If anybody is... So you don't fight terrorism by downplaying what has transpired. You acknowledge that this happened, but we are going to take the fight to these people. I think that's the best way to do it rather than denying and saying no such thing happened, if it did happen. And I believe, like I said, that I don't believe that the CAN chairman will be so frivolous as to come out to say this happened without having evidence that some people, some churches were attacked and some people were taken away.
We just had a security expert join us, Dr. Getso, and he said he agrees that he has gotten from the grapevine that there was indeed an attack. Although the numbers a bit sketchy, but he said there was an assault, an attack rather, that was carried out.
Our news editor, Ishaya Ibrahim, a Kaduna boy, I made sure that he spoke to the people and he got them on tape that this happened. There were attacks in Kaduna on churches on Sunday.
Anyway, let's take a look at still the front page of this Nigeria still. Tinubu orders investigation of Kano housewife's murder, 6 children. Another sad story that came out from the weekend. A mother was killed and 6 of her children, apparently one of the child was even thrown into the well. Very sad.
2?
Yeah, 2 of them, apparently. Family alleges medical laxity, $600 million over Shell engineer's death. You have the picture on front page there. ATM transactions galloped to 36.34 trillion naira in 6 months. Ooh, wow. But let's take the front picture, the one you have there, the scooping of diesel.
You know, Joe, I told somebody yesterday who, when again we published the story, and somebody sent me a text and said, "Is this real?" I said it is, but and the woman said, "This is unbelievable." I said, "It is sheer stupidity." Now, this is not just about poverty. This is stupidity. And it was only God that saved Lagos yesterday. Imagine if there was a spark of fire yesterday. The disaster that could have happened in Lagos yesterday. You know, when the Pentecostals, every Sunday, I think Olive is one of them. Every Sunday they go to church and
Look at that.
and they are giving testimonies. I used to tell people that we all have our miracles every day, and what happened yesterday is
one of them.
Is a miracle. That there could be this level of, because what it takes is for even a telephone call. A telephone call.
Yes.
That's why people are advised, when you are pouring fuel in a generator, don't use
the touch.
Your
phone.
Or when you're buying fuel at the station.
Exactly. Don't take calls or don't make calls from there. So anything could have sparked fire yesterday, and imagine the number of people who could have had another Jesse.
Yeah, and it would have gone on the bridge, the tanker would have exploded, the traffic on the bridge would have been affected, it would have been another Jesse. Exactly.
I said the disaster would have been unimaginable. So why would people at this time and age still go, how much money will they make from, okay, you succeed in getting
50 liters.
50 liters. How much money is that?
And
compared to the risk
Your life.
that people took. Whether it is going to be the National Orientation Agency, or I think government must continue to sensitize people on dangers inherent in us.
So government should tell you not to put your hand in fire and not to use your intuition to run away from the natural human behavior should be to flee from danger.
Well, Benga, what do you say? Like I said, it is sheer stupidity, because there's no other way to explain it. It's not, yes, now some people have said that it shows actually how poor people are. But poverty does not becloud your sense of reason.
That's a suicide mission.
Your perception of danger. Because this is danger that is there. like I said, it was only God that saved Lagos and Nigeria. And all we would have been hearing this morning would have been front page news of 200 people
turned
burnt to ashes.
Let's, we have Joe calling. Joe, not Hansen. Jonathan is calling. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Yes, that's Jonathan from Kaduna.
All right. Calling. Please go ahead, and if you can speak up, we're struggling to hear you.
We have observed for a long time that the government is always interested in image laundering.
Jonathan, we're sorry, we can't hear you. It's very unclear.
Just try and call back. It's not too clear. I'd like you to call back. All right. Yes.
So Nigerians should be careful. Nigerians should be careful. Poverty is not an excuse to commit suicide. Because what these guys were trying to do yesterday, apparently, whether they knew it or not, they were on a suicidal mission. That they got lucky yesterday does not mean that the next batch who will also try that will be lucky.
And isn't it shocking that if the National Orientation Agency was really pushing against this, maybe we would have seen, I keep saying it, making a video debunking or making a strong statement in today's era that we live in is a must. So if you quickly put out a statement and make it clear that, listen, we will not stand for this, and if people are not arrested, because I saw a man in that video, he was drenched. It was as if he was going into a swimming competition. He was drenched in diesel. I was like, who is this?
And that's the other point I wanted to make. Look, to actually serve as a deterrent, I think some people should be arrested.
I agree.
We have this video. Some people should be arrested and tried.
Because what they're also doing, people always forget.
Like being
that
criminal.
Is theft. It's also theft.
We have Ebuka. Let's take a call. Ebuka from Delta State. Ebuka, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ebuka. Please go ahead.
Yes. You see, what you are seeing there is the barometer to measure the economic prosperity of Delta State. Of Nigeria. That is exactly what they will use to measure all those indicators that they are flying around. Economic prosperity, inflation is going down, people are enjoying it. That is the indicator. Then on the other side of it, the first news headline that you pointed that about adoption or no adoption. It's like when you go and check your BP, and then you find out that your BP is reading 200, and then your doctor calls you and says, what is the situation? He said, no, it's normal, it's 120. You are only deceiving yourself. So these governments, the current government we have today in Nigeria, they came by propaganda. They are continuing to rule by propaganda. Self-denial. There is a problem. Why not say the way it is so that you're able to address it? There's no way you are going to lick this wound. The situation is glaring. Everywhere you turn to is crisis. The whole 80% of the news headline in Nigeria today is talking about crisis. So that's just my little contributions. Well, what you see, the analyst is talking about somebody's self-awareness. How can you be when you are hungry? And these are the people that will go and vote. Look at those. These are the people that will determine who becomes the leaders of Nigeria tomorrow. Somebody in that state, how can he make a choice? How can such a person make a choice? He has been beaten to a point of stupidity. So whatever choice that person makes is a bad choice. And they are larger in number. They are over 80% of people in that category. So you can preempt what the outcome of the next election will be on the evidence of the analogies that you are seeing today. Because they will just give them handouts. 5,000 naira will be too much. And they will vote for such persons. I will be there for the next 4 years again. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Okay, Ebuka, thank you for calling.
The point that I was making is the issue that, yes, there is poverty, but you don't go and do what these guys did yesterday in an apparent suicide mission. Because at the end of the day, you get 50 liters of petrol. How much is it going to fetch you when, if there was a fire outbreak yesterday, the whole nation would have still been in trauma up to this moment? There is hunger in the land, but there are some things that being hungry cannot excuse you. Because, look, we must be very, very careful in how we handle these situations. You don't commit suicide because you are hungry. And what those guys wanted to commit yesterday
is suicide. Well,
suicide.
The only suicide mission a number of these people know is suicide mission movie. Any other thing, you know,
they don't see it as suicide.
Let's move to the Punch newspaper. I think it's very important that we'll take the front page of the Punch. The front page talks about amnesty deal. While we're talking about the potential of citizens, of Nigerians being kidnapped, not potential, because from what we're hearing now, it's confirmed reports. The people in churches were kidnapped, abducted in Kaduna State. Now in Katsina State, outrage mounts as Katsina moves to release 70 bandits. Tinubu told to stop release of bandits on trial. ACF, Afenifere, others slam Katsina government over amnesty deal. Now, we're seeing here that Afenifere Arewa Consultative Forum, Ohaneze Indigbo, the Middle Belt Forum and others have expressed outrage over a plan by the Katsina State government to release 70 bandits as part of measures to patch up a floundering peace pact with bandit leaders. Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi, while we're dealing with insecurity, we're still going back to this whole, you know, carrot and stick approach. I want you to sit on that non-kinetic approach, rather. The Punch newspaper, where we saw outrage mounts as Katsina moves to release 70 bandits. Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi, we're back to the non-kinetic approach that has been highly criticized by a number of Nigerians. The spokesperson, Mr. Gumi, Sheikh Gumi, oftentimes has also come under criticism because he has openly spoken about being in support of this approach. Are we not tired?
What is going on in Katsina State? In the first place, it is not quite correct to say we are back. We have always been there. We've never left this idiocy in the name of governance. There are 34 local governments in Katsina State. As we speak, 18 of the 34 local governments have subsisting agreement passed with bandits, peace agreement with bandits. And you know, it is even sadder when you remember that Katsina State was the state of the immediate past president, late Muhammadu Buhari, a man who swept into office in 2015 on the grounds that a retired general of the Nigerian army, he would have the capacity to deal with all manner of
terrorism,
insecurity in the country. At the end of the day, insecurity as a cancer metamorphosed under him and became almost incurable. Now, Katsina State, 34 local governments, 18 have subsisting agreements with bandits. In some of these local governments, almost the administration, the functions of the state, the Nigerian state, have been ceded to non-state actors who now determine when you go to your farm, how much money you pay to be allowed to move from one point to the other. And these guys are being paid every month. So this granting of amnesty to 70 is just part of something that you can't wrap your head around it. That in the 21st century, a country that calls itself a sovereign, that citizens owe allegiance to non-state actors, while state actors pay for non-state actors to protect citizens. That's the absurdity of what we have. And you know, I say it always here, that my problem with the APC government is that they believe that propaganda is everything. The lies, the innuendos, they believe that you can run a state solely based on propaganda. And therefore, they will be the first people to tell you that insecurity has been tamed, that what these guys are doing, even when military barracks are attacked and soldiers killed, they say it is soft target.
There was an attack yesterday in Zamfara State. I believe a number of about 6 soldiers lost their lives and policemen. I want to quickly take you on the dangers of allowing this sort of system to perpetuate itself. What do you think will be the end result?
The end result is that these guys are emboldened.
It's an industry.
It has become an industry in its own. So the guys are so emboldened that, look, how can you stop them when they are holding the state to ransom? Apart from the agreement that you have signed with them, where you pay them money every month so that they will keep the peace, you are now releasing, they are now giving you conditions that for there to be peace, the peace that you are seeking, for there to be peace, then our members who are in detention, some of them have been tried and convicted, should be released. How on earth can anybody explain that? And just these past few days, a woman and her 6 children were murdered in Kaduna.
Yeah. Do you know what's even worse, Mr. Amaechi? The fact that you're taking this story, and if you look at the top corner of the Punch newspaper, you'll see that the military discovers Boko Haram underground storage and fuel dump. We cannot exhaust, I mean, look at it, top right corner, literally just there. So while we're talking about releasing bandits, they're discovering how very well, structured these guys are.
And the National Security Advisor has not spoken against the release of these 70 bandits. No comment.
Anyway.
How will he speak? Do you expect him to speak? Because now for them, they have technically defeated bandits, not terrorists. So how would you, and part of the technical defeat is not that they are giving you conditions. They are literally running Katsina State.
And we don't want to get to the point where we're seeing more states under the control of Boko Haram. Mr. Amaechi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.